Hey, what's up, ecosystem? You know what carriers and dispatchers are looking for and talking about every day? A better auto transport load board. They're looking for acvauctions.com/ATI. Now, what is that? Well, bring your questions and buckle in. It's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey y'all, welcome back again to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. I want to welcome you back to the show. You know, this show is live, so we never know what's going to happen. But it's Tuesday nights live. It's Auto Transport Intel. It's episode 98. This is the ACV Auctions show. So I'm really happy to have you here with me. I've got ACV Auctions all over the place here. If you leave this show and you didn't remember ACV and didn't learn what it was, man, I can't help you. Listen here, this is the welcome lineup. I want to tell you what's going on. If this is your first time in the show, I want to say welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday night. I know it's a couple hours long, so tune in, tune out, come back and forth, watch it later. Absolutely, I want you to feel welcome, and I want you to join the live chat. Let us know where you are, what you're doing, what you're looking for. Please say hello. This is a great time to ask questions. I mean, right before we got started tonight, got an email from Roberto. Roberto, please join in the show. You need some car hauling coaching. Definitely will set you up with that. Also, we're going to go into industry news. That's the stuff on Facebook. Man, so much Facebook news. I mean, I'm watching all day long. I know everybody is. You're seeing, jobs and wrecks and funny stuff, memes, news, stories, your friends, ads. I mean, it's all over the place. So I choose some stuff. I kind of do kind of a wrap-up of the week because there's so much. I mean, who remembers 2 weeks ago? I have no idea what happened 2 weeks ago. We're going to go into the information superhighway after that. That's where I kind of give a running start at the topic of what we're going to do tonight. And so I really like that segment. I think it's going to be a good segment tonight. And then we're going to go into the interview. So we have Joe Nieman with us. I see that Joe's in the live chat. If you've got a question for Joe before he comes on to the show live, feel free to ask him. Joe is the founder of ACV Auctions. And again, we're going to be talking about ACV Auctions. We're going to be learning from him what this is all about and how this is helping the auto transport industry. And then we're going to open it into the ACV Auctions panel discussion where Matt, the ACV Carrier Manager, is going to join us in the live panel, and Ty from CTS Business Coaching, my friend and business partner, will be on the show. And that's going to be the four of us, and we're going to be talking about ACV Auctions and the industry and answering questions and helping you get signed up with ACV Auctions to help you stay loaded. Because listen, man, if a car hauler is not loaded, we all have a problem, actually. That means the car's not moving, he's not making money, and suddenly people are freaking out, the phones are ringing like crazy. Where's my car? You made a promise. So we want to help the car hauling industry by making sure that everything gets done and the cars are getting moved, and that's happening on acvauctions.com. Man, more and more. It's amazing. Over 10,000 vehicles a month need to get moved. That's acvauctions.com. All right, so we're going to go into the live chat here in a second. Before we do, I just want to say thank you, Sun Country Trailers, for making a high-quality, custom-built trailer that we can rely on. If you have a question, you're looking for a trailer, you want to learn more, check out Sun Country Trailers. Thank you, Gopher Auto Carrier Software, for making a car hauling software that helps us get the dispatches to the drivers, automate, fill in more capacity, handle more capacity more efficiently, and get driver reports, invoicing, get paid faster. Thank you so much, Gopher Auto Carrier Software, for doing that. I want to thank Murphy Auto Dispatch Services, Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. If you have a question about dispatching, or if you're looking for a dispatcher, shoot, if you got a question about brokering, I think Sue will help you. And again, she wants to make sure that you are staying loaded, so give her a call. And finally, thank you, ACV Auctions. Thank you for your contribution to the channel and for improving the ability of a car hauler to stay loaded. It really means a lot. Let's go into the live chat. Oh, it's 8:06. I'm right on time. I'm 1 minute late, so the producer and I are going to have some words later. But since that for right now, that's me. It'll work out. I'll have a cigar and the producer will be fine. So Joe Nieman is with us in the live chat. Hey, Joe, man, good evening to you, Joe. Really looking forward to talking to you in about 23 minutes. It is going to be a great conversation tonight. It's neat that that you are able to leverage the ATI platform to get the message to the folks, whether they're live or watching later on demand, or maybe they're in Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter. Man, we're using the social media sphere to get the good word to the car haulers. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Matt from Anytime Towing. Good evening, haulers. Ty and Jay. Hey, what's up, Matt? We got your email earlier. Listen, anybody out there, if you want to update us what's going on with you, you are on the ground, you're hauling, you're talking to people, you've got a beef, you got something good to share, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I mean, it's great, man. Thank you so much for keeping us informed of what's going on with you, Matt. Kenneth Hott, catching it from the start. Good evening, Jay. And thank you. And hello to the live chat. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Thanks for saying hello. Means a lot. Sue is with us. Yeah, that's right. That is Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. Sue, she's with us in the live chat. You got a question, she's right here. You can chat. Hey, Kimberly is with us. Hey, what's up, Kimberly? Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for having my back. And if you guys have a question and I miss it, you can also ask Kimberly, and you can email me. And man, we do want to make sure we take care of you. Seven Seas Transport is in the house. Nice hat. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, all right. You know what? I got the ACV. I talked to ACV, and they'll do this, man. Right? I think if the ACV wants their merchandise out there. They're proud of their company, and they've got a great thing going for the car hauling industry. So I got the ACV beanie hat. I got the ACV t-shirt. I got the ACV cup, and I got the ACV hat. All right. So, man, yeah, thank you guys for the merchandise. Actually, it's a great beanie. Yeah, it looks great, feels great. So thank you so much for noticing. I appreciate it. Matt is with us. Matt is also from ACV Auctions. Man, I'm still thinking about the hat. I was like, yeah, dude, I appreciate that. It's really cool. Matt is with us from ACV Auctions. He's the ACV Carrier Manager. He's going to be in the live panel. Thank you, Matt, for tuning in the live chat. Mark from Superflow Systems. Hey, Jay, Mark from Superflow saying big hello. This is going to be a great show. This is going to be a great show. By the way, if you don't know this right now, I do believe that this show right here, this ACV auction show, there are a few people right now watching this, and I think it's a little, I don't know if concerning is the word, or like they're feeling the disruption, but dude, guys, this is happening. This is happening, and I don't know what else to say, man. This is happening, dude. This is going to be a great show. Brian Ardman, hey, Jay, Bunyor Transport checking in. This is my third or fourth show. Love it, man. Thanks for all the info. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. This is a two-way street. I make a show, you consume the show, and hopefully it's helping your business, and hopefully it's helping my business. So yeah, man, nice to meet you in the live chat. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Jerson Ansela, good evening. What's up, Matthew? See, people in the live chat know each other. They say, hey man, have you seen this crazy ATI show? This guy's out of control. He goes live every Tuesday night, and then he puts on a sports jacket and he flies to places and he's talking at conferences, and then he's bringing in technology I never heard of, and he's throwing down knowledge about other verticals in auto transport. It's insane, man. Sue, hey ACV crew, love working with you all. Yeah, and that's what's cool too, is we are seeing really this cross promotion is happening. Everybody on the screen is starting to get to know each other. It's incredible, man. Thank you, Sue. Mark, hey Matt, good luck for the show. Brian, hello. Boy, Matt's getting a lot of hellos. Matt's a popular guy. Well, he should be. He's a great guy. Bill, Bad Apples, what's up, car people? Rocket Trucking in the house. What's up, Bill? Thanks for tuning in again. I appreciate it. Part of the core for sure. Joe says, thanks, Sue. Oh, Truckify is with us. Hey, what's up, Jay? Truckify car hauling app in the house tonight. By the way, can you guys see me and hear me okay? I think the answer is yes, but I want to make sure. Matt says hello. Joe talking. Mark talking. Trucking Answers made it. Waiting to hear about frequent flyer miles. Well, yeah, okay. Hey, what's up, Market Trucking Answers? Listen, man, thanks for tuning into the show. Yeah, actually, frequent flyer miles, it's interesting you say that. You some kind of mind reader or something? Because, yeah, the more I travel, the more I want to get some more frequent flyer miles, you bet. So, listen, if you have trucking questions, Mark has Trucking Answers out the wazoo every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. Go to Trucking Answers. Friend of the show, Kenneth, Brian, Joe. We got more. Oh, and see, then I heard you say that on your show, Mark. Yeah, when you try to scroll in the live chat, it gets kind of janky, and then you scroll way ahead. But I see people talking. Oh, Cody Martinez, haven't tuned in a bit. No problem. I'm here every Tuesday night. As usual, it's better than The Simpsons. Oh man, thank you. I'm telling you, man. I don't know. SpongeBob SquarePants is pretty good, dude. Seriously. Ty is in the house. Is this where you find cars? As a matter of fact, Ty, I believe that's the question of the day once again. Matt Hoy is with us. Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad you like the hat. Frank Wright is with us. Yeah, dude. Paul Roberts, Max Premier Transport. What's up, Paul? And Carlos Braxton. Hey, from ACB Logistics. Love it, man. Thank you, guys. Kayana Warren, trying to get in the business. I have a call with Ty tomorrow. Awesome. Can't wait to hear about that. Jay is with us. Jay Wilson, thanks for tuning in. Hashtag mind reading. All right, dude. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. We're going to go into some industry news. I'll be right back. Please stick around.
A call today.
All right, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, I'm your host, and we're about to go into some industry news. Now, what is industry news all about, you ask? Well, you know all that crazy stuff you scroll through all day long on Facebook. Well, I compiled, a special week's worth just for you guys, and so here we are. Oh, I got a text. Let's make sure. Let's do that. Show that. I got to make sure that everything's okay. 42 so far. That is awesome, man. Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, so you know that space you just started into in front of that semi? Well, guess what? That was the space he needed to stop safely. Thanks for playing. Have a great day. Under the tire. Okay. Stop thinking that because you have a college degree that makes you smart. That was degree, Jay, not decree. I know a lot of people that have driver's license and can't drive worth a darn. You know this is a family show, but thanks for playing. Okay, do you want honest answers why so many car dealers love, or at least show no care who delivers cars? Inexperienced car haulers? They love it when we flip trucks. Insurance pays them fast cash, and they make money on damage repairs, cost a fraction of an estimate. Now, I didn't post this, but it is interesting. I saw it on Facebook, thought I'd share it. It is interesting to think about when we think about other people and the ecosystem and what we believe, but ultimately, nobody wants you to flip your truck. Although I understand where you're coming from, and it sure feels that way. And it's also it's an example of, you know what, in the day, in the heat, and you're working hard, this is a tough business. Hey, are there any good dispatchers in Florida for car hauling? I saw this, I shared it. You know what you need? You need Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. First, you need to talk to Ty. Ty at ctsbusinesscoaching.com. Ty at ctsbusinesscoaching.com wants to talk to you, see if maybe he can help you get some of your own customers, and then talk to Sue and fill in the spaces. Really, it takes a village. No joke. Okay, now, if this is your dispatcher, then I think he's getting, or your broker. Is that, all right, hands up. Is this a dispatcher's golf cart or a broker's golf cart? Or a driver's golf cart? Dispatcher's golf cart? Broker's golf cart? Or driver's golf cart? We'll say car hauler's golf cart. Let's say we'll read that in the dispatch. I'm pretty curious what people think. Okay, so you know what? Why not? Let's make some extra money. Let's just go ahead and throw a boat up on that top rack. Oh, this is when a car hauler goes on vacation. Oh yeah, no problem. We got you covered. Okay, this is when a car hauler spends the weekend. Why not? Throw a little shrimp on the Barbie? No problem. Yeah, I'm just going to load this car. Let's go ahead and fix yourself a hot dog. I'm just going to go load a car. I'll be right back. And then this is after a little bit of shrimp on the Barbie. Go ahead and here's your hammock. Here's your in-cab hammock for that day cab that you just can't seem to get enough rest in. Finally, I understand why cars have these things. It's interesting. I know it doesn't exactly have to do with car hauling, but it is interesting. It's an interesting perspective, you know? She didn't change the car. She just changed the way she viewed the car. No comments on the whose golf cart it is? I'm not going to worry about it. Hey, did you guys see Eben's recent video, My Wife Got Totaled? Alright, this is Eben Rockmaker. Now, you can find him at Synthetic Oil Protection. He is doing a great service for the industry, doing oil changes from, whatever you were using to AmSoil, and then sharing, video, audio of the experience. But in this one, his car gets hit. It's a great thumbnail, very compelling. If you haven't seen this already, just Google My Wife Got Totaled and check out Eben's channel, Synthetic Oil Protection, and find out what is he talking about. I'll tell you what. This one's for Eben. Hey, stupid, merging traffic must yield. You can't just switch lanes as you want to. It's pretty funny that a guy put that on the side of his flatbed. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, here's some news. Get your wallets ready. No truck parking. Truck parking fines to skyrocket in the city if the lawmakers have their way. So I was checking out some of the rates there. Looks like a lot of the rates will just flat out double. Plus you'll have the towing rates will go up. The fines just for the violation will go up. And maybe a little bit of extra, steak dinner tax and stuff like that. It is getting crazy. It seems like a war on truckers. You ever feel that way? War on truckers? Well, thank you, OIDA, for standing up against the war on truckers. OIDA lawsuit leads to Virginia removing thousands of hours of service violations. Did you hear about this? Virginia, apparently the state of Virginia, was was go ahead and fining drivers for hours of service violations without having the law in the books. Now, they have the law in the books now, but you want to check this out, because in the article they talk about for a certain number of years when they didn't have the authority to give you that violation, you can get it repealed. I don't know if they're going to do that automatically. Does anything happen automatically? So you might want to check that out. Can you get your money back? Who knows? Now, this was shared on Facebook. This is an actual, these are some actual violations. You know, just seemed like a... Now, it's interesting. When you read this, obedience to any required traffic control device by the scales, no medical certificate. Okay, you don't want that one. I mean, you got to have your medical card on you and updated. Registration certificate must be carried. Okay, we do know that too. Not marked in accordance with, if you leave out the U.S. on the U.S. DOT number on the side of the cab, oh, you didn't get U.S. We thought maybe you were Russian. Okay, we're just going to mark you up for that. And driver failing to retain previous 7 days records of duty status. By the way, I'm sure that joke I just made, can't make that anymore. Jay, you're fired. Call the producer. Probably true. Fake news. Here's more of the violations listed, and, anyways, I know. These things, man, but here's the thing is, this is why I share it. Drivers have to look at this stuff all the time. And this has nothing to do with loading, unloading, and staying profitable. It's just, listen, I realize we have to have enforcement and rules, but the level at which some carriers, they feel like they're trying to do the right thing, and at the discretion of an officer that might be having a pretty bad day, it doesn't work out that great. So let's move on. Do we have more news here, Jay, or are you just going to gripe all day? Oh, I want to show you this. Check this out. Here's some news for you. Hey, guess what? Good news. Central Dispatch updated their phone number. Okay. Moving on. CDO Life shares. Oh, look at this. Fire consumes house, truck, and oversized load move gone wrong. This would be why the insurance agent will tell you, if you're going to broker loads, go ahead and set up a separate business entity and get insurance under that business entity, because you don't need some other carrier having a bad day bringing down your entire company. So, just something to think about. Just a little something. Here's this is interesting. Oh, you can see the guy's hat in the reflection. Okay, $100 for 25 gallons of diesel. This is in California. So if you didn't think that was good enough news, check this out. Okay, new enforcement process for California truck and bus regulations. Beginning January 1st, 2020, the CARB truck and bus regulation will be enforced through a new automatic process. Wonderful. Senate Bill 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, was signed into law, stating that the California Department of Motor Vehicles must check that vehicles are compliant with the CARB truck and bus regulation. Nearly all diesel-fueled trucks, buses will be subjected to the rule as of January 1. This is January 1, 2020, folks. This is, 5 months? Vehicles weighing 14 to 26,000 pounds gross vehicle weight with engine models years 2003 or older. 2003? Is that old? Holy cow, that was 16 years ago? I guess that is a little... Well, but still, it's a truck. It goes a million miles. Anyways, we know better than you. If it's 2003 or older, it needs to be replaced or repowered. Just a little... It's no big deal, just replacing the engine with a 2010 or newer model. And vehicles greater than 26,000 pounds, if it's older than 1999, okay, so yeah, we realize that you can get a lot of miles on that thing. 2010 or newer, no big deal, just replace the engine, no problem. We'll see you down the road. Thanks, California. Anyways, listen, Dallas Boot Camp... Just bring you way down. All right, let's go back up. Dallas Boot Camp. This is Shaggy's. Listen, you guys know about Shaggy's Express? Visit shaggy'sexpress.com. Dallas Boot Camp. If you are learning more about freight, want to learn more, freight logistics, freight brokering, Shaggy's a friend of the show. You got a phone number. You got a web page. Check it out, man. Shaggy's Dallas Boot Camp. Now, that's what Shaggy is doing later this month. This is what Ty and I are doing in a month. We're going to be at Automotive Logistics Global Detroit, September 10th through 12th. So I'm telling you now, I'm going to tell you in the coming weeks, this is going to be another big show. We're really excited to go. What's fun is that here's a shot from, we were in Baltimore last week. This is from Baltimore. And it's great to go to these shows, learn more about other parts of the ecosystem. I got some more interviews coming up that will blow your mind. I believe I'm going to get Scott from VW on the show. I hope so. And I'm definitely going to get Richard from Cartainer talking about international containers, those shipping containers that contain cars. Wow. Such great stuff. So listen, if you've got a show or event that we need to know about, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, or just tag me on your favorite social media. Now, what in the world is that? Well, that is a pile of keys, my friends. This is a pile of keys at one dealership. And all these cards need to get posted on acvauctions.com/ATI and moved. They got a lot of cars to get moved. ACV Auctions is here to help keep you loaded. Those are the keys. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So, you know what? For example, did you know? Listen, ACV Auctions, this is no small deal. They are looking to disrupt, and we know this word disruption, the $100 billion wholesale automotive industry. And they have secured $93 million in Series D funding. So, I mean, these guys, that's a lot of funding to help grow a business, because this is a nationwide endeavor. You know what it's like to go nationwide, right? You get that phone call. You get that phone call from the guy that says, "Hey, can you move my car from West Virginia to like just the corner of California, just right by the water?" And you're like, "Dude, that's not even close to my route." That's what it's like to have a nationwide route and be able to manage wherever from wherever. It takes a lot of money and infrastructure. That's what ACV Auctions is working on, and that's what it's all about. And that's why tonight's show is about ACV Auctions, because ACV Auctions is the next generation load board. They are going to help keep you loaded. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back after the break. We're going to talk about we're going to hear a word from Gopher. We're going to watch a video from Gopher. Stick around right after the break for the information superhighway. I'll see you in a second.
Welcome to the Gopher driver app training tutorial. Once it is open, you can enter your username and password, then click log in. The first screen you arrive to is a list of all stop locations assigned to you. Click Arrive. Tap Photos to take pictures of the vehicle. In this screen, select your damage codes and tap on the affected area of the vehicle, and then click Save. AIAG codes are required for OEM damage reporting. Select your options and add codes as needed. The last button to click is Load. You can also input the customer name and email address if they want a copy of the order. The delivery process is very similar to the pickup process, except now you are unloading vehicles, then working through to the outgate. If you have any additional questions, feel free to call 760-267-9040 or email support@gopher.com.
Okay, man, this show flies by. Is it just me? Whew, I hope it's going as fast for you as it is for me. I can't believe it's already 8:30. That's craziness. So let's jump into the information superhighway. Okay, what is going on? Listen, if you just joined the show, you are here just in time to see the Auto Transport Intel information superhighway. Let's do a brief recap, shall we? Auto Transport Intel is on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I've got a blog page. We have ctsbusinesscoaching.com, where, listen, if you have questions, you need coaching, you want to learn more about how to get into this business, my videos just aren't enough. Okay, that was crazy. Go to CTS Transport Business Coaching, ctsbusinesscoaching.com. Now, what is this? You know what is really cool? Check this out. The date is on here somewhere. Here, check this out. You see that? Okay, can you see that? This video was published on August 5th, 2018. So 1 year and 8 days ago, I published this video. What is this video? Top 5 car hauling load boards. And you know what? You know what's not on there? ACV. So here's the deal. I made this video. I was talking about the top 5 car hauling load boards because, and you know why it's such a popular video? Because car haulers and dispatchers, they need loads. Where do you find loads, folks? What do? Pick up the phone? You go to the load board. Now, you should pick up the phone. You should build relationships. You should get customers. You should follow up with brokers that you've already hauled for. You should. But what do? Knee-jerk reaction. We go to the load board. We go to the load board and we just, we go in and we log in and we see the loads and we start typing in pickup location, delivery location. And yeah, the screen doesn't exactly match what I said, but listen, I know the video. I made the video. I've seen it several times. But you know what? You can lose a lot of money just paying for the subscription of a load board. And as I say in the video, it's a list of loads that may or may not be ready. Who knows? I mean, you got that car, you got this car, maybe there's a lot number, maybe nobody answers the phone. I mean, come on. Already. I mean, I realize there's a lot of loads. But you know what? It's really frustrating once if you do get somebody on the phone, and you try to email them, and actually, I faxed a guy one time. I literally faxed a broker, and I said, pick up the phone. I'm trying to book a load. Okay? Like, that's frustrating. Get them on the phone, book the load. Who knows if there's any information? I had to learn to become a detective, and that's why I started Auto Transport Intel. Because I thought, you know what? If I got to spend my time being a detective, I'm pretty sure other folks do too. In fact, are we in the detective business or is this car hauling? I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure it's car hauling. But nonetheless, you'll see the number 1 load board and then the other load boards I mentioned here, all listing loads on the number 1 load board because that's where everybody seems to go. Which is strange because I guess the word isn't out that there are other places to go. By the way, this number 2 load board, when I made this video a year ago, I know, I get on a roll. So, man, that's why I say buckle in because this is a freight train, okay? But right now somebody's like, "Ah!" Okay. So, here's the deal. I don't even know if it's a congested route, you can't even sign up with this load board right now. I don't think. That's what people are telling me. Go ahead and verify that in the live chat for me, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Okay. So, all right, so you can't sign up on the congested routes. They've already got too many carriers. Something I've not heard of, but oh well. And maybe you can book a load, but the problem is not enough volume. Good on the technology, good idea, good mobile app. I like that I can book a load without having to fax somebody to pick up their phone. That's great. But not enough volume. So we need more. We need more load boards. All right, here's another load board. All right, so here's another load board. I go here and okay, so I find out that I gotta like learn, okay, I gotta have my MC number for 90 days. I think that's right. You gotta have an MC number for 90 days, so you can't start in right away. And I get that. That's good. You gotta have a vetting process. We should all vet everybody better. We should vet the carriers we work with, the brokers we work with, the dealers we work with, right? Because that's important. Because if we do some vetting, then we're going to have a better business experience on behalf of our client. Absolutely. But so anyways, this is another load board I do like, and I really do. And I look forward to learning more about KAR. Have met a couple people still interested in talking to more. Listen, if you work at Cars Arrive or KAR, let me know. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let's talk. Now, this company right here, actually, I've talked to a couple people. I'm looking to talk to more. And I also, I'm on the edge of revealing some information that I have, but I can't. So I'm not going to say anything, but I will tell you this is that, like everybody else, we all know that that we're woke. The people are woke, and there's new things happening. There's new information. And that's a lot of loads to be posting on that load board. Is that necessary? Man, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, at the time of this video, what I found really interesting is that I could find more loads posted on the number one load board than I could on their load board. And by the way, this whole business about which load board is number one, okay, fine. 2019 is over half over. But when it comes to next year, 2020, I think things are about to change. And I think you can smell the change. Watch Facebook. Did you see what happened on Facebook today? I'm just saying, man, here I am. I'm signaling. I'm throwing out 23s and like Baphomets. No, seriously, things are changing. Okay. Now, okay, here's another load board. Now, I hear very little about this load board right now. This is such a vast ecosystem. There is so much to focus on as far as, you've got fleet services. Do we focus on the dealer? Do we focus on the carrier? Do we focus on, are we a broker? Are we a broker carrier? Are we a dealer broker? Are we a load board? Do we do, are we into the corporate business? So I don't even know if anyone still talks about this load board. Honestly, it's out there, but why not? All right, now here's one more load board. Now I threw in a bonus number 6, but I can tell you something. If I was to make this video today, I know who would be my bonus number 7. In fact, I don't even think they'd be 7th. Because what's happening at ACV Auctions is nothing less than miraculous in the car hauling industry. I tell you what, 2 years ago, when I was still dispatching regularly, 2 years ago, I saw ACV Auctions pop up on the load board, right? I saw some loads popping up, but I haven't seen anything like what they've accomplished recently. There are so many loads popping up on that load board that it's beginning to seem like a problem. Do you remember what happened with, oh, here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. Do you guys remember do you remember what happened with the relationship between Amazon and FedEx? The thing is, FedEx started hauling so much for Amazon, it started to bug them. It started to get under their skin. Finally, FedEx said, all right, you know what? You don't get any more planes. And recently, you know what they said? You don't get any more trucks. Because when you grow so fast that you begin to look like a lot like your biggest competitor, that's when things get interesting. So when we come back after the break, we're going to talk to Joe at ACV Auctions. Hey, before we do that, let me do this. Let's do this. Let's go to the ACV question of the day. I said ACV, man. It's all ACV. This whole show, ACV gone wild? No, Jay, don't say that. Come on, man. Okay, so wait. Let's do device. Let's do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the CTS Business Coaching question of the day. Is this where you find cars? Yeah, at acvauctions.com/ATI. That's where you find cars. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk to Joe, and we're going to dig into the nuts and bolts of ACV Auctions. Stick around.
Historically, buying and selling wholesale vehicles is time-consuming, expensive, and loaded with risk. With ACV, our 20-minute online auctions provide immediate access to thousands of dealers who are ready to buy. Our inspectors complete comprehensive condition reports right at your dealership, from engine fluid levels and OBD2 scans to paint meter readings and tire tread depths with tons of high-res photos. Our condition reports take the guesswork out of wholesale. The ACV team comes to your dealership, inspects the vehicles you'd like to sell, and loads them into the app, and you're selling vehicles in no time. There are no fees for running a vehicle that doesn't sell, and you don't have to worry about transportation to a physical auction. See how ACV can work with your dealership at acvauctions.com.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show, and I hope you can hear me okay, see me okay. So Joe will be with us briefly, shortly, and we're going to... There he is. I just said his name, and he just appeared out of thin air. Okay. All right, so let's get some... there we go. You can see who we are, and you know what this is. Oh, let's go ahead and do... Bam! Let's go ahead and do that. because this is the ACV Auctions Auto Transport Load Board interview with Joe Nieman. He's the ACV Auctions founder. Now, I know we do this, it's okay. We join the meeting. Want to make sure you can hear me and see me okay. Now, I can see, Joe, I can see that you've joined. I can't hear you yet, and I can't see you yet. I know that's all about to change just like magic. And I'll tell you what, while that's happening, I missed a lot of Joe's, like, no need to be a detective. I missed a lot of the live chat. It looked like a lot was happening. And Kimberly, thanks for sharing the company info. All right, Joe, I can see you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Love
Joe,
it when it works.
Man, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been a good show. It's been a lot of ACV talk.
Yeah, I mean, just constantly. ACV, making it rain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. So, all right. For anybody that's with us that doesn't know what ACV Auctions, like I haven't said enough, please tell us, why did you create ACV Auctions?
You got it. Try and keep it on the rails here. I was a car dealer, all right, buying and selling a lot of cars. And, from the car dealer world, the auctions are just a broken industry. Very, very antiquated, very old school, and they take a lot of time for car dealers. It's a lot of work to go to these auctions, source cars, and it's hard for the sellers to bring all their cars there and go and babysit them, and then extra touch points, and people steal stuff out of cars and all this crazy nonsense. So really, all that aside, our business is just meant to streamline the operation. We originally focused on making the car dealer experience better, and we are an online auction. There's, between 10 and 20 million wholesale cars a year, depending on how you measure it, every year getting sold through primarily auctions. And our spin on it is very simple. And this is how it ties into car haulers, auto transporters, is the car stays at the selling dealership until it gets sold. And then it's point to point. It needs to move from, the seller to the buyer, and it needs to move there quick. So like you were starting to say with the Amazon and FedEx analogy is, we didn't plan to go into the transport business. We were going into the auction business. But what happened was we're moving all these cars. We kind of made it easy for car dealers to buy cars from all over the country, from markets they've never bought from. And when I was a car dealer, I had my 1 or 2 regular transporters that I saw every single week at the auction. They basically went, parked their rig, waited for me to buy 5 or 10 cars, and I'd hand them the gate passes, and they'd schlep them out of there and bring them home. Fast forward to the way ACV works. If you're a car dealer on ACV, you buy cars from all over the place. We make it so easy for you to access inventory from all over the country. So that's what dealers do. But that means they didn't have transporter partners lined up to go and move these cars from states they never bought for or bought from. So, really long story here is simply that out of necessity, we said, geez, we got to start helping our customers, our dealer customers, move these cars. And that's what we did. So your point about Amazon, FedEx, we started posting on Central Dispatch. And then we started posting too many on Central Dispatch. And then we started either and no harm, no foul here, but we either were breaking their site with how many we were posting, or they were throttling us because they didn't like so many ACV cars being posted on their site, because Central Dispatch is owned by Cox Automotive, which owns Mannheim Auctions. So maybe just a little conflict of interest there, but forced us to say, man, we are now in the transport business, even though we didn't intend to be. And we got to find a way to reliably move these cars. So we started our own load board. So
there are
how that came to be.
There are so many pieces. I love it, man. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I love it. No, hey, listen, you've seen me talk. I mean, I love it, because really, when we go back and we unpack this, in the beginning, there was in 7 days. Okay, so you're at the, you got traditional auto auction, right?
Yep.
And the number one problem for a dealer is they're losing time. Which means if they're losing time, they're losing money. And this is really why, you're a dealer and you come up with a technology like yours where, hey man, guess what? That used trade-in that you want to sell, I mean, that's all you're going to do with it. You're just going to sell it. And you're going to sell it at an auction, okay? Just leave it on the lot. You just got it. I'll tell you what, use our technology, list it today, sell it, what?
Today.
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 Whoa.
Our auctions are 20 minutes long. It's a now business is how we think about it. And,
Whoa.
you know, car dealers are the most impatient people on the planet, me being one of them. And so, you know, everything we do is in a rush and time of the essence. And that's why we're talking to you and your audience too, because we need a ton of transporters nationwide immediately. And you've got the audience. And I actually think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, or your audience can tell me if I'm wrong, but, you know, our goal here is to make the transporter's life easy, okay? Get them paid. They want, from the way I understand it, and I did a little bit of car hauling in my day too.
Right.
But ease and simplicity and time behind the wheel, you know, driving down the road is where these guys make their money. And not having to chase money is important. So we alleviate that, getting paid fast. Mm-hmm. We take care of that.
Yes.
And we know everything about these cars. We know the origin, we know the destination, we know everything because the customers are our customers. These are people that just either bought or sold the car. So we know them inside out. We know cell phone numbers, we know the whereabouts of their dealership. You're not going to an auction. We talked about this before, but going to an auction and looking for a car. I've done it before. You can lose hours looking for a car.
Totally.
So, you know, with us, these cars are at the dealership's lot. You pull up, you hand them the release paper that we provide,
right.
Load that car, and you're back on the road making money, not spinning your wheels.
And as we know, dealerships, I know this as a dispatcher, if that car that I'm calling about luckily is at a dealership, I'm like, yeah, bring it on. Because I know the hours are going to be better than most other locations. And I know that the dealer, they want to get the thing off the lot. They're not going to make me run around and guess at numbers and whatnot. No, man, they want that car gone. So here's a question for you. If a dealer gets a trade-in, can list it and sell it today, how many days did they save right there?
Oh, I mean, 5, 7.
Right.
You know? And if they don't sell it the first week at the auction, you're waiting another week. The car's sitting in a parking lot.
Plus, they didn't have to pay a transporter to take it from the dealer to the auction and then back to the dealer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of streamlining.
And I know that within this business model, then you could have other strategic partnerships. That was an actual cough, that was a cough, not a gaff. You could have other strategic business partners because of now that you are selling from the dealership. What if you need auto remarketing or other tracking or other special parts? It really, this is what we call disruptive, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Deal. We're sitting in the center of it because we own the transaction. You know what I mean? We own that experience of the car getting bought and sold, and therefore we're in a large way responsible for everything else that surrounds it, the payments, the titles, all the car dealer type stuff. But it's also fun because it allows us to get into the transportation space and own the whole transportation experience. So, and it's a lot of cars, like you were saying. I mean, we sold 22,000 cars last month on ACV.
Whoa.
And over half of those cars, the dealers requested that ACV Transportation figure out how the heck they're going to move those cars for them.
Right.
So we've got a big need for transporters.
I just envisioned like a political cartoon. So you've got like traditional auction at the end of a garden hose, drinking from the garden hose. And then they look up the hose and there's ACV Auctions drinking further up the hose. You know, it really is changing. So you have all this capacity and it just keeps growing because you keep signing up more dealers. So you need more and more carriers, and that's why there's no cutoff. We want everybody to sign up. And so it's easy to sign up. Let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and I'm gonna bring up the acvauctions.com/ATI. This is where you go. Go to
right.
acvauctions.com/ATI, put in some simple info, and get signed up. And when you get signed up, you're looking at, here's your new load board.
Yep, and it's free to sign up. There's no monthly fee. We're not trying to nickel and dime anybody. We can have you signed up probably within an hour or two. We just need to get the information from you, validate it, and we want you hauling cars. It's really that simple. And we have cars all over the country. We're selling 1,000+ cars a day, the majority of which we need help getting these things transported. And again, I think the really cool thing is here, we know everything about these cars. We had one of our own inspectors go and touch this car, take 50 photos of the car, verify that it runs and drives, verify that there's keys there. There's really no surprises, which I think for a transporter, that's what this is all about, is just keep this simple. How do I get paid? Drop off the car, give us a copy of the bill of lading that shows that it was delivered. We're ACHing the transporter the money the next day.
Okay, and so it's a simple process, right?
Yeah.
Did they upload their BOL or right?
Yep.
Send it.
And
over.
when Matt comes on, he can talk about all the details, because he really is more responsible for all that than I am. He's closer to it, but
I tell you, I love that you know the information about the cars. We talked about the detective work. It's insane. It's crazy. In fact, let's say I get through the vehicle information. I could get the wrong pickup or delivery information. That's not acceptable. It happens.
Right.
It happens all the time.
And who's paying for those mistakes?
Nobody.
Right. We're used to owning our mistakes. We don't make a ton of them. We did sell 22,000 cars last month. There's mistakes in there, but we're in the business of owning up for our errors, and if we drop the ball, we're going to make it right.
And that's what's cool too, is that, here you are, you're the founder, you're talking about the company, and you are, you're here. This video, we're live now, and then this video is going to be on demand. And not only do we want carriers to sign up, but we want carriers to know who ACV is, what you guys stand for, and what your goals are, what you're trying to do. And it's, I find it really interesting. You weren't setting out to build a load board. That's really interesting.
Sheer necessity, and just, we needed to get eyes on a couple things, right? We needed to get eyes on the cars that we needed to move. We tried going through some big brokers that promised up and down they could move all our cars.
Right.
They couldn't. And our end customer truly is the buyer of these cars and the seller of these cars. And the sellers want them off the lot fast, and the buyers want them in their possession fast. And we're willing to pay to make that happen. So if you look at our rates, we're paying good money for these cars. We are not trying to cheapskate. We want these cars moved. We know that in order to get these cars prioritized on trucks, it takes a little more dough. We're happy to pay to move these cars. And what we found with these big brokerages is, they'd say, "Oh yeah, we'll pay up," and they wouldn't. And I can't blame them necessarily, but we just had to take control of our own destiny. The other thing is, as a transporter that's moving cars for ACV, you're getting paid directly by us. So you're not chasing money from the origin or the destination. You're not having to get money from used car dealers and trust their checks. We're direct depositing money into your account, same day, next day, 2 days later, whatever it is, as quick as we can. There's no delay from when you drop that car off. And so when we were posting all these cars on load boards like Central Dispatch, they were just getting lost in the shuffle. And we really thought, and I think it's true, we really thought we had something special from an offering for transporters, for all the reasons we just talked about. But when you just post them among the other thousands of cars that need to get moved on Central Dispatch, the fact that you're getting paid virtually instantly, the fact that you don't have to chase the money, the fact that we know exactly where this car is coming from, going to, who the contact points are, there was no way to showcase that, if you will, on someone else's load board.
Yeah.
So we said, we'll build our own load board.
That's it, and the truth is, when you list the concerns and the gripes of carriers and dispatchers in searching load boards, trying to stay loaded. I mean, it's tough to get a hold of people. You never know. Is this some company that closed down or reset up? Right? You don't know about the vehicle. Yeah, you're worried if you're going to get paid. If it's not COD, really, there are many drivers that are like, if it's not COD, I won't do it.
Right.
And that's hard, man. It's hard to build a good paying route around only COD. So then when you start to trust somebody that you book a load with, that you are going to get paid. And ACH, ACH is one of those things that when you see it, it's not COD, but it sure is darn close.
Oh yeah, I mean the money's good as gold sent into your bank account. Like, and yeah, worst case it takes 2 days, but it's coming, it's on its way. We're not net 30 terms or anything crazy like that. We want to pay you. We're happy to pay you.
Right.
And we're happy to pay up for some of these cars. These rural location stuff. Like, we got to move these cars kind of, hell or high water is our philosophy. And there's a lot of mainstream routes, and there's a lot of oddball routes, and we need all these cars moved no matter what. And one thing we'll talk about. Sorry, I know I'm on a tear here.
Say it.
Yeah, no, sure. So we started in the Northeast. So if you look at that load board, so 4 years ago or so, we got started, and it's grown exponentially. And actually, you've got that image that shows how we've expanded.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll that beautiful footage. But so this is ACV's growth over the past 4 years, and every individual line, is lots of cars that need to be moved. So you can see how this thing's grown over the years. And obviously on the West Coast, it looks thinner, but mark my words, we launch a market to go and sell cars in. It takes a couple months to really get it up and going. But they all come online, and they come online fast. So even if you don't see a lot of moves coming out of North Dakota and you're a transporter and you say, they don't have anything for me, get signed up, keep checking. The volume will build. It has in the Northeast, it has in the Southeast, in Texas, and California. So,
well, and frankly, I mean, this won't be any surprise to anybody in an area that's already searching for loads. The West and the Northwest just doesn't have as many loads as the other areas of the country on average. So that's not going to surprise anybody. Yeah,
right.
That's just
right.
part of it.
But we just also haven't been there longer, so it will scale quite a bit.
Yeah, great. Even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is, it is a great map. And I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. After the break, because we're going to bring in Matt and we're going to bring in Ty, we're gonna do a couple things. I've got a virtual lift video that I put together, so we're gonna take a look at that. And we're also gonna look more at the load board, about how easy it is to sign up. Listen, you guys, before we come back, I just want to make sure it's super easy to sign up. Go to acvauctions.com/ATI. Just what? You need your first name, last name, phone number, email address, company name, and you're ready to start looking at loads. So do that. We're going to be right back after this break. You go ahead and sign up. We'll be right back.
When it comes to creating quality car haulers, precise engineering and expert manufacturing is key. Since 1986, Sun Country Trailers specialized in manufacturing industrial commercial haulers to fit every need. Each Sun Country trailer car hauler is built with hand-cut steel and precision parts for consistency and craftsmanship you can rely on. Once built, each hauler is sandblasted and given a rich powder coat finish, after which the hydraulics and wiring are expertly installed. Before leaving our manufacturing facility, each car hauler undergoes a stringent inspection using a checklist and build sheet to ensure premier quality results. Need something unique? Choose among our wide range of upgrade options for a versatile car hauler that meets your precise needs. Our experienced service department is able to help you with any repairs, maintenance, and replacement parts your Sun Country trailer may need. And because we stand by our industry-leading quality, each Sun Country trailer is backed by a 1-year warranty on both the structure and all non-wearable parts. Learn more online at suncountrytrailers.com or call us today at 866-887-2453.
And we are back. All right, cool. So let's do this. I'm going to move some titles around. We are being joined by Matt, ACV Carrier Manager, and then we're going to have Ty in here in a minute too. But while Ty's joining us, Matt, please say hello to the people. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, cool. So, and I can hear you now. So I had to. Here's the thing: is what's crazy is I gotta use the program I got going on. I'm doing the switching and all that stuff. So, but we can hear you now. We could hear you halfway through your sentence.
Okay, great.
So, all right. So you can hear us, okay?
Hear you perfect.
All right, good. All right, cool. So, Ty will be with us soon. So, Matt, tell us what are your days like? What's it like being a carrier manager?
Well, it's amazing. The days are some days long, but in a great way. Some days we dispatch over 1,000 vehicles, and we're constantly onboarding new carriers in especially our newer markets. We are in a lot of newer regionally challenged or geographically challenged markets like North Dakota, Idaho, New Mexico. So we are trying to bring on a lot of new carriers in those areas. And those, I was talking to Kenneth in the chat, telling him, be patient in some of these areas, because another guy in the chat said he was in Texas and the carrier watched the market explode, Alexandru. And it will happen in Arizona. It will happen in these other markets. So stick with us and they'll see what comes of that. It's really exciting.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to ask you a couple of questions, but before I do, I want to welcome my friend Ty to the show. Ty, you can see us and hear us okay?
Yeah, pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I like your hat, and I love the cup. If you guys haven't seen,
cheers.
All right, cheers, guys. Yeah, right on, man. That's excellent.
Yeah,
hey, is this where you find ACV?
Yeah, I think it is.
Never heard of it.
That is fantastic. Hey, what if somebody wants some ACV merchandise? Can they get some?
Send me an email.
What's your email address?
Make it happen. I put it in the chat. It's M Majeski at ACV Auctions. Tell these guys to send me an email. I'll make something happen.
Matt, you're an animal, by the way.
Or merchandise.
What's that?
I said you're an animal.
Why is that?
Dude.
Man, you're in the live chat killing it, and you're on it.
I know. I saw that too, man.
And we actually have Joe Klanowski is in the chat right now. He is actually the gentleman who developed our load board. So he can answer any questions that you guys may have. He's the most knowledgeable about it. So,
man, that's pretty awesome. Hey, that's between you dispatching 1,000, you dispatched 1,000. You say that again. You dispatched 1,000 vehicles.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Our team did. I do more of the carrier onboarding, carrier compliance, set up payments, all of that stuff.
Wow.
We have another carrier dispatch manager who handles that. But as a team, we dispatched over 1,000 vehicles in one day, which that specific day was close to the amount of vehicles we sold. So it was an amazing day. And every day, I mean, we break records every month. It's been amazing. I've been on with the company about 15, 16 months, and it's just been amazing to see the amount of growth. It's really, truly amazing, as well as our carriers' growth since they've been with us. We've had carriers who have started with us with 2 trucks, and some of them are up to 9 trucks as of right now. To see them grow with us has been truly amazing.
Wow.
And, scale with us, and now they only want to take ACV freight. So it's truly an honor. So
that is amazing. Hey, here's a question. Does ACV use enclosed carriers?
Yes, we do. I would say there's a very small percentage at the moment, but we do get high-end cars. I mean, you name it, it has wheels. We sell it on the platform. I mean, even boats on trailers.
Wow.
But high-end cars, we do move on some enclosed trailers, but there's not a huge need for them now. But who's to say for the future there won't be a lot more of those? So
wow, that's awesome. So hey, I want to do this. I don't want to forget to do this. I want to talk about virtual lift because this really did catch my attention. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch a video. Now, what I did was, since I'm an audio video guy, I saw this on Facebook. Oh, here we go.
Probably a better video to share, but we can watch this one. Narrate this, Jay?
Yeah, sure. Well,
okay.
Yeah, so what's going on?
Happening.
Let's see here. Let me take. So they set up. You guys, what is that thing you set up?
Yeah. So essentially, what we've got there. So what we do for our core auction business is we do inspections of used cars. So this was a demonstration of a new technology that we just recently released, and we'll be going live in our auction marketplace real soon. And what it allows for is all of our inspections are done right from an iPhone. So our inspectors are out there on dealer lots using our app to create a condition report. And we pride ourselves on the accuracy and the thorough nature and the transparency, which have all been kind of missing from the car auction world forever. But what you can kind of see there in that picture is the fact that we've created a rig, or so, yeah, I guess you could call it a rig or a device that the iPhone sits on. And look at that beautiful footage. It creates a stitched together scan of over 2,000 frames or images, and it gives a view of the undercarriage of a vehicle.
Slow motion.
In a way, slow motion, in a way that you've never seen before. No dealer, no anybody has seen before. So we're doing this on the ground. That car didn't get put up in the air. You saw that old Cadillac or whatever it was get driven over the rig. So that's what we're going to be doing on every single car going forward. So I think it's probably in another month or so, we'll have those out. We've got over 300 condition report writers around the country. They'll all be armed with one of those devices. Takes another 2 or 3 minutes to complete this scan. So, not sure how this directly ties to the transporter side of our business, but one thing I'll tell you is we're investing in technology. We're investing in making lives easier. Ty, go ahead.
It helps the transporters because we get in trouble when we don't put the hooks in the right hole and we rip out the bottom of the frame.
That's it right there. Yep.
So we can say, if you do this for us, like you're talking about, before we get there,
Yep.
and we put it on the trailer and we do it the right way, whether that be a 3-point strap, a lasso, or put the chain in the hook where it really is supposed to go, now we can say that hole was already there. So again, taking care of the carrier. Good job, guys.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
How many times have we
Thank
taken
you.
cars to the auction? We dropped them off. We get a phone call from the dealer because the guy that bought it ran it through PSI and they found a rip in the bottom of the frame, and then they classify it as a frame damaged car. And now we're all in bad shape, and it all comes back to the carrier who may or may not have actually done that.
Right. Nope, you're absolutely right. And we see that every day on our end, Ty. So you're absolutely right. This protects the carrier in that aspect. We have the photos beforehand. And that's what's great about the inspections at ACV. With all the photos we do handle, I mean, that has protected carriers in a lot of aspects with damage claims on that front. So that's with trust and transparency on the auction side, we're also seeing that all the way through on the carrier side. So
yeah, that's huge, by the way. Good job.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And you made me want to, what I wanted to share now was, because you made me think about this, is that part of the reason you've got all that information, we're going to go ahead to go to the ACV Auctions walkthrough video, is that as the carrier is using, the dealer is using their part of the mobile app in the beginning process, instead of sending it to a physical auction, leave it on the lot, then they go into your technology, and you've also got a VCI, right? That comes to the dealership. The dealership's not stuck having to figure it out. You've got people that go to the dealership and help them use the technology to get going right away and sell that car tonight, right?
Absolutely right. Yep. We do all the heavy lifting. We do all the work. We do the inspections. We create the condition report. Our goal is to make everybody's life simpler and save all of our customers, whether a transporter or a dealer, but save them time and keep them busy doing what they do best, which is buying cars, selling cars, moving cars, and eliminate a lot of the frustrations and the waste.
And each vehicle put into the system, I mean, tons of information. More information than the carrier needs.
Definitely. But like Matt said, because we're taking 60 photos of every car, in some cases more, and because we spent 20 minutes inspecting that car, and soon because we're going to be running them all over a virtual lift device, we know everything about it. And just when stuff goes sideways, which inevitably it does sometimes, cars get damaged or, somebody thinks they missed damage. Sure. We've got a reference on every car. So it just eliminates guesswork.
You made me think. You know how they say garbage in, garbage out?
Sure.
No garbage in.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so that's this. Okay, so that's the system. By the way, let's do this before I go back to that. All right, so there's the dealer side. Let's go and look at the load board again. So, and there's more. This is on your website. You've got news, other things happening. There's a lot happening at ACV Auctions.
Yeah.
We're busy.
What's ACV AMP? What is that?
Sure. So that's an audio recording sample that we take of every car. So it's a cold start of the engine running. Let it run for 10 or 15 seconds, and then like two moderate revs on the car. So
wow,
we're trying to remove subjectivity. When a dealer buys a car and says, "Hey, there's motor noise on it," and you didn't disclose it, now we have a really high tech. It's actually like an audio fingerprint, if you will, of the car. We have a digital image, kind of behind the scenes. So what the dealer sees is the ability to listen to the engine. They can hear it right through their app. But what we have behind the scenes is really a profile of the sound of that engine. So we know exactly what that car sounds like, and we know if it's healthy or not.
I have never heard anybody talk about that. Ty?
Well, you don't hear, but they're taking what happens in real life and turning it into digital. So at an auction, you see guys always lift the hood or put their hand on the hood or walk back and put their hand underneath the tailpipe and smell for exhaust.
I know that, but I mean, I've never heard of anybody proactively capture that data and include it.
Well,
I've never heard that.
Well, no, because it's Joe and ACV.
Amazing, dude.
Hello.
Hello. Are you paying attention?
Yay.
ACV Auctions.
This is disruption with all caps.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Trying to do it the right way for the first time,
I'm going to have to drink some Kool-Aid, man.
It is. There's so many cool things about this being the coach guy or whatever you call me, but to see how you guys have taken, because I tell people all the time, where are you going to find cars at? At a load board? Okay. Central dispatch is definitely not the load board to go find cars on. This would definitely be a load board to go find cars on. So as I'm coaching people, I'm trying to teach them, build a small lanes, don't go crazy out here chasing money on central dispatch. This is so easy to talk to guys about. And I do. I tell everybody I talk to, get signed up with ACV. You're going to run a short radius, a short lane. You can build it. They'll work with you. You work with them. It's all right there. I mean, you don't have to go talk to anybody anymore. Cool.
Right. And so there you go. So that begs, so the social aspect, that there's going to be guys that miss that camaraderie at the auction, and maybe there's a digital evolution for that. For that, I'm not sure, but clearly, I mean, by saving the dealer this much time and money on a car that they know they want to sell right away, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And the interesting thing is despite being a younger guy, I'm an old school car guy. I mean, I was diehard physical auctions, had to touch it, had to feel it, didn't trust anybody to, do a condition report on a car. So I was the biggest critic. I still am. But the reality is that whole social aspect of the auctions, it's kind of a big waste of time. I mean, people just sit around, eat their hot dogs, and I was guilty of it too, and BS and talk about the industry. But for what? We're not making any money when we're sitting there talking. You're either buying cars or you're selling cars, and move on with your life. Sitting there breathing fumes isn't good for anybody. And I'm just being honest. I mean, I look back, I got a lot of wasted time standing in the auction lanes kicking rock.
Yeah.
So, and the other reality is I consider myself a bit of a dinosaur. Most of my peers that are up and coming in the car business, they've already figured out that they don't want to go to the car auction. They got no interest in the car auction. If they can just do this online and be more productive with their time. I used to drive 2 hours on a Wednesday morning, leave my house at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to a parking lot and either trudge through 10 inches of snow or be out there in 95-degree heat on the blacktop. Why? Like, who needs it, I'm not making extra money by doing that.
So I've got a question, just curious. What do you see happening with these big fleet lease accounts?
As far as, I think
we're talking about auctions, and you go, like you're talking about, you go to these auctions and they got the Ford or the Toyota or the Nissan, they're running 800 today. And next week they're going to run 1,000 and come and blow out and drink beer and whatever you do.
Yeah. I mean, even those big consigners are all looking ways. I mean, we're talking with a lot of them. We're doing business with some of them. But they're all looking for ways to go what we call upstream. And that's why what you see is like when someone turns in their Ford lease,
right?
Ford first that grounding dealer, so the dealer that's taking that lease in, they have first crack at the car. So they might have, a 2-day window to decide whether they're going to buy it or not, which eliminates any need to transport that car or do anything with the car for Ford. If they don't want it, then they're going to put it on a intranet type site, and they're going to remarket that car to Ford dealers only online while the car still sits where it is. And then kind of, last case scenario is to go and ship the car to a physical auction. So kind of everybody's looking at this going, it's cheaper, it's more efficient, it's faster to do this digitally.
Yeah.
So the consignments are going down.
Well, if I were an auction, I would definitely be a little concerned right about now.
Yeah. Mannheim actually just announced today, and this is not a knock, this is just a sign of the industry, but they just announced today, it was in auto remarketing, that they're closing one of their Chicago locations. So, we never used to see auctions closing. Now, starting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, nonetheless.
Oh, very. Definitely.
Which just means too that transporters are going to have to look to other places to source their inventory that needs to be moved. And, I think Matt can speak more to this, but our average transport distance is like 300 to 400 mile range, but we do local stuff all the way to cross country hauls. So, for guys running 10-car high rails, we can help you put loads together. For guys running 3-car wedge, we got a ton. we got so much.
Right.
Yep. Those 3-car wedges are certainly our bread and butter, I like to call it. So Joe, you hit it right on the head. Our average hauls are in the 400-mile range. But we have these short 12-mile hauls, 50-mile runs. Jay, if you wanted, I can do a quick run through of the load board.
Yeah, let's do that. And I want to share this with you guys. There's a lot happening in the live chat. And I say that because I know you can't see it because we're here on the show. And so we can't be distracted by everything. But there's a lot going on. So be excited. Awesome. Yeah, man. There's something happening.
Positive.
This is really, really cool. Let's go ahead and, all right, I'm going to pull up, okay, again, and Arthur, I shared this with you, the link, go to acvauctions.com/ATI. this is where you're going to sign up. You hit the get hauling button and sign up. I signed up, it was fast. And Ty, you signed up, it was fast. So you get signed up. They want you signed up because they want you booking vehicles, and then here you go. You're on the load board.
Get to work.
We need your help.
Go, boys. Where you at?
So, all right, so here we are. Tell me more. Okay, so let's say it was my first time here, Matt. What am I doing? What am I looking at?
Yep, absolutely. So if you would refresh, I don't know if you have a certain filter on.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I think I've had that page there for about an hour or more.
Yep, it's going to have you log back in.
Okay.
You're timed out.
No problem.
No big deal.
Problem. Okay, refresh. Okay.
Yeah, so let's start back. So you guys, you sign up through the ACV Auctions /ATI. You're going to get a call from one of our onboarding specialists. They're going to have a little chat with you, find out what kind of runs you do, what kind of trailers you have, find out a little more about your company. We're going to need your authority, insurance, the basics. We'll get you signed up same day, within a couple of hours. Have your ACH banking information. So after you do your first load, the payment and everything goes seamlessly. After they do that, you'll be signed up. You'll come here to the load board. So this right here, at the end of the day, there's not a lot on there right now, but as of today, I think we dispatched over 700 cars. But say, for instance, you can sort it by pickup state, delivery state, what have you. So it's very simple.
Okay,
if you want to simply, go ahead and sort it by anything. Maybe New Jersey. I'm sure there's bound to be
Let's do it.
plenty of those around.
All right, cool. So I'm going to do by New Jersey. We'll do any, and then what do I click? Filter? Sort?
Do filter. You can do filter.
Okay, I click filter. All right, so now here's my New Jersey. Okay.
Here's your New Jersey.
Okay.
So say we wanted to pick, just the first 3 loads. I know they're not really going to the same place, but for the sake of argument, click the first 3 loads. You're interested in them.
Okay, so choose these 3.
I'm sure you're not going to throw the International with the Ram and a Cadillac on a 3-car wedge, but for the sake of argument, click select jobs.
Okay.
Down at the bottom left, right there. So right now, these jobs are just in a staged capacity. So what it does is it takes it out of view from other carriers. You have time to call if you're a dispatcher, you can call your drivers. You have a little time, minimum of an hour. Sometimes it's longer than that, but eventually it will be an hour filter where they'll automatically be unstaged or unlocked. But we find that an hour is a decent amount of time for a carrier to decide whether they want to load or not. So all you would do once you decide you do want the loads, in fact, you just put in a pickup date, a delivery date. If you don't agree with the payout, if you do agree with it, the suggested payout, you're going to be assigned the load right away. It's just going to be assigned to you. You'll get a release in the email. If you say you want a little more money, it's bigger, or just extenuating circumstances, you could put it at 325, 350. Put comments why. Simple as that, and just click submit. You can do that with all the loads. One load, say you didn't want all of them, you just want that one. See, there you go. You're going to get it just for being amazing, Joe. But it's as simple as this. We wanted to make something super easy to use. We do not have an Android or iOS version yet, but we are working on that.
Okay.
Joe, who I'm not sure if Joe Klanowski's still in the chat, but he's the one who developed this, and we have a lot of amazing things in the works right now, such as we are developing direct dispatch, and where carriers can put in their preferences, also notifications where we can notify carriers of when a load in their area is out, where they would get a certain amount of time to either accept or deny a load. There's a lot of new things coming around the corner, as well as releases. Right now, it's we have to pull them from a secure database. There are some people in the chat joking about our secret phrases, but those soon will be automated to where that secret phrase is automatically put into the dispatch sheet, which will automatically be emailed to the carrier. So that will be in the works here soon. I just want everyone to know. So I would say within the next month or 2 tops, we should be seeing these data releases, and all of our carriers will be notified of that. So Jay, if you go to My Jobs or Stage Jobs up there, it'll still show you what jobs you have staged. So you can go back to them if you're a
Oh,
dispatcher
wow,
or a
that's
driver.
cool.
Yeah, if you're still working the jobs, you're good to go. If you want to go back and see all jobs, just go back and click ACV jobs. And once you, I don't know why you got that.
It
You know,
happens,
so I
but
got to look at what status
but
we have you on, Jay,
Joe's
because I
here.
know
Yeah,
you weren't
right.
exactly
That's
a
true.
carrier.
That's true. That's true. I don't have any care. It's
right.
true. Yeah.
So if you want to click the ACV jobs or my jobs tab.
Okay, I'll go to ACV.
Yeah, ACV jobs. That brings you right back to where all the
Wow,
jobs
this
are.
already
You can go through
changed
them.
by 4. It was 75.
Yep. So now we have carriers all night that'll be requesting these loads.
Right.
And like I said, the closer you are to the suggested price, the quicker you're going to get a load. But it doesn't mean you won't get it. It's just sometimes a carrier might or one of our dispatchers might email you, call you, and say, hey, will you come down a little bit or will you go up? So it's a very easy process, very seamless. A lot of people will tell you if it's in an area where we know what the rates are a little higher, we're just going to award the load to you. People will tell you we care more about getting it to our buyer in a reasonable amount of time. So
that's
what
cool.
is a reasonable amount of time, Matt?
Well, for instance, our average loads are 400 miles. So we like to have it to our buyers within 5 calendar days. So, and we think that's a reasonable amount of time for that type of load. So, and we do know, we keep that in mind. And we obviously want it sooner than that, but we do keep in mind that carriers are building routes. They might have another car on that route that they're picking up in 2 days that they have scheduled. So that's why we have certain cycle times that we want to hit and for our buyers. And that's so, and that brings us to another point. So we are working on a tech release. Not sure when it's going to be out, but for carrier profiles for, so a carrier can see how they're doing on the ACV platform right there in their profile. So there's a lot of cool and exciting stuff for we want our carrier partners to keep an eye out for. It'll benefit everybody, help them find loads faster, more trust and transparency, just like our company mission. We also want to have that with our carriers. So they'll have more insight into the loads they're taking, the locations, the vehicle. We want to have it to where we actually have the main picture of the auction go right into the order. So if they get that dispatch sheet, they'll have an actual picture of that vehicle on that dispatch sheet. That'll help tremendously. Like if it's a truck, does it have a ladder rack? Sometimes you're surprised by these things when you show up, or a plow. You never know. So those pictures go a long way, and we have plenty of them on our platform from our VCIs. So
man, there's so many good ideas there. Like, in fact, if somebody has feedback, an idea, what's a good way to submit information to you?
Carriers at acvauctions.com.
Okay.
That goes to our carrier management department. Our onboarding specialist will get that up. And if it's for our load board, we want to hear any feedback, negative or positive, all of it. All of it helps. We will get that over to our development team. So we're always looking to improve, always looking to be faster, always looking for to go one step further. So.
And what if somebody says, I'm a phone guy, I just want to talk to somebody on the phone? Can they talk to
Call
somebody?
us.
What's a good phone number?
716-796-6976. Joe, I don't know if you know the 800 number offhand, but I can get that right now.
6976.
Yeah, it's 800-553-4070. It's also right on our website, acvauctions.com. One of the prompts is over to transportation.
Yeah, we're actually the first prompt now for
nice.
calls.
Representative.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think Matt touched on some really, I think amazing things.
I totally agree.
But the fact that there's only 75 cars on there right now, like by tomorrow it will be filled right back up. We dispatched something like 900 cars today, so we're all over this. Like our sense of urgency, like the rate that ACV operates at, our heartbeat, our pulse, I think is matched to dealers and transporters, and I think that's important. This is our marketplace, our car marketplace, and also our load board is not a land of stagnation, if that makes sense. This is not just
totally. Oh my gosh.
Sitting there. And that's usually the result of marketplace inefficiencies. And we're not about that. So like you look on stuff like on Central Dispatch, why are there so many cars sitting on there? Well, because it's a bunch of people lowballing the move,
Oh my gosh.
right? And just hoping somebody needs to fill that last spot on the trailer. We're not about that. Like, we're paying market plus to move these cars quickly because we have an obligation to our buyers and sellers to get this metal moved. You know, so there's a reason we're down to 71 cars left for the day. We hammered through 900 cars today, you know, and people didn't take those cars because we forced them on them. They took them because this makes financial sense.
Right.
One of my favorite books is "It's not the big that eat the small, it's the fast that eat the slow."
That's right. I like that.
No comments, but yes.
Hello.
You know, hearing you talk, Joe, you made me think about, so I used to be a dispatcher, right? I mean, that's the thing, is that I am the guy that stared at load boards all day, and it made me crazy. I mean, really. And then the other thing that just passed my head, I was watching The Shining the other night.
It's a good movie.
Staring at load boards in the land of stagnation is like living at the hotel in The Shining.
Not a good place.
I mean,
not a good place.
you're in
No
a
work and no
bad
play
place,
makes
buddy.
Jay a dull boy. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, please.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, then they wheel out the twins. All right, add another $25. You know, and then the blood comes out of the elevator. I mean, it's just horrible, the junk that sits on load boards and the craziness that must go on in these offices with broken windows and garbage on the floor where they're like, all right, fine, add another $5. Let's
Right.
you know.
Right.
It's just terrible. It's terrible. And
No, and as a lot of the carriers in the chat right now, they will tell you all the loads on our board are very real. They're ready to go. They have an actual car attached to them. And if there's any issues with them, we're ready to make it right with the carrier and work with them. I mean, we're there 100%. So
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
So as the coach, guys, see, this is what I love, because this really, it's like the epitome of what I try to teach these guys that are either new in the business, they got the 110 to 3 car, but it's all about fast. And so I spend a lot of times with car dealers, and I try to explain to the small carrier guy why the car dealer wants this stuff right now. And I don't know, you guys can probably answer Joe better than I can, but I've heard it's anywhere between $25 to $50 a day per car in interest.
Time is money, right? If they're financing their purchases through a floor plan, that adds up. There's also just, car dealers are impatient people. The market shifts. You don't want to own your cars for a long period of time. Holding inventory is a bad strategy.
What's
if
the
you're a car
turnover
dealer.
now? 30 days or 15?
Well, I mean, 15 would be amazing, right? But 30 is really healthy. And every day counts. Like, a lot of dealers, they should, right? They should think in terms of, what's the day in our world, clicked the button and bought that car. That's when the clock starts.
Yeah.
You know, because if you start the clock when the car lands on your dealership ground, parking lot, or if you lie to yourself even further and start the clock after you get the car through your repair shop and reconditioned, you probably have 15 days that you're not counting, where your money's tied up, waiting for that car to show up, waiting to get through a shop, and that's costly.
Yeah. Well, I was watching Jason Harris. He's a guy we follow on LinkedIn, and he had a little clip about it's like rent. It's $100 to $300 a month for each space on that parking lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think carriers understand that. And I know this is a carrier show, but to really try to help the carrier understand what's really happening here, there is a sense of urgency. Car dealers don't want them on their lot, and the guy that bought it wants it back on his lot. So it's a great opportunity for a little guy who's fast, agile. I mean, you guys have set it up so perfect for that guy to get in, get out, and just home run. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And get out, but also, like, not waste time walking the lots of a 300-acre auction facility. Right? Just the simple stuff that really matters. And to not have to sit there and, truck drivers are not bookkeepers. I don't think they want to be. So the idea of having to go home and, or sit in their sleeper and go through, accounts receivable,
Right.
nobody's got time for that,
Oh,
right? They're
man.
not making money doing that. And if they got to pay somebody else to do that, and the phone calls and, to try and shake people down for money, you don't need to do any of that with us. We're there. We're paying you. Matt's paying you, right?
In exchange, guys, audience, in exchange, here's what we need. We need you to be prompt. We need you to be present. We need you to look good, smell good, and do a good job. That's all we ask, right?
Yeah, be courteous. These dealers are our customers. We care a lot about them. Don't go in yelling and screaming. We don't hear about many of these issues. But if you do that and we hear about it once or twice, we might remove you from our yeah, so
it's a two-way street, because I like that you said this, Ty, is that because carriers, dispatchers, we expect the load to be ready to go and we get the information. And on the other end of that deal, the dealer and ACV expects the carrier to be professional, be timely, be courteous. We met an OEM last week who was talking about, yes, everybody heard the story about the guy that went around back and took a leak, and oh, come on. Now, right, I mean, there are things that, it gets around and affects business, and, so, and that, I love that at CTS Business Coaching, you try to help remind folks maybe about some of the fundamentals.
Right. I call it, let's emulate, let's be like, let's look like our car dealer. So as I explain it, I say, guys, what are some of the obvious things you notice when you pull into a new car store or used car lot? Just real fast. What do you notice? Cars are lined up really straight. That's weird. Spaced really just perfect. People that come out seem to have kind of the same clothes on and almost the same smile, and there's lights and things are clean. And so this is our customer. This is who we want to look like. This is how we want to act. It's because it's our customer. If we want to stay in business, if we want to do more business, I'm sure you guys probably have figured out a way to, hey, if we got a guy that's doing a good job, we'll make sure he gets more loads. We'll call it an algorithm, we'll call it whatever you want, but I'm sure you've got that in the back somewhere. So as Jay and I, we go to these weird trips and we go to these big meetings and we're hanging out with people we don't know. It's real simple. It's just business. And
that's what I was thinking about as you were saying that. Yeah, that is. It's actually, that is probably, man, that's so simple right there. Is emulate your customer. That's great, man. Be like your client.
What you give away is what you keep, right?
That's awesome, man.
Why don't you give away some happy smiles, some thank yous?
Speaking of, we have good news. Robots are not taking over car hauling tomorrow.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, this business will continue. I don't know when. I was actually, everybody's doing it. Everybody's trying to stare into the kaleidoscope and figure out now what year is that going to turn into robots. Dude, car hauling? Oh my gosh.
That'd be a while.
Anyways, it's so far away. Don't worry about it. Go back and do what you were doing. But recognize the new recent trends that are happening, and ACV Auctions is a trendsetter.
Yeah, and on that point, I'm not trying to brag at all, but like why this is so important is we sold 22,000 cars last month. We'll sell probably 25,000 this month. By year end, we'll be selling over 30,000 cars a month. By next year, we'll be selling over 60,000 cars a month. And that's just the truth. So like we've been growing at 300% year over year.
Right now, somebody's going, okay, what did he say? 20?
Right. All I'm saying is, there's gonna be a lot more cars. Be a lot more cars that need to get.
We need to get a meeting with Dan in the morning. Oh my God, the guys are. What are they doing?
And I hear it every day that we are creating a niche market for the rural onesies, as people in our department like to call them, the rural onesies that aren't, they're not metro to metro. It might be metro to rural. Like it's such a different marketplace we are creating in these areas. And the guys with the 2-3 car haulers, they love it. They can't get enough of these cars. and we love having them aboard, and watching them grow with us has just been such an amazing opportunity. So really
So
cool.
one more keynote here,
Sure.
because I've got a lot of big fleet friends, and they like to make fun of me for helping the little guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they always make fun of me and kick me in the nuts. Why do I help these little guys?
Mm-hmm.
So
I've seen it. I'm witness. It's a family show. I've seen it. I've been there.
Yeah, you've seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah.
They go sideways on me, man. It's like, hang on, man, slow down. And the thing that where I was going with that was whether the fleet guys like the little guys or not. Here's the beautiful part. The little guys are very important, and they need in my opinion, they need something just perfect like this. It's a safe place, you know. And I love it. I think it's great, and anybody wants to come and knock me in the teeth, I'll duke it out with you. Happy to do it, because this is what it's going to
show.
Be.
Well, and it's Seven Seas. No, go ahead, Joe. You go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, you know, it's and I see Seven Seas.
Yeah.
You know, don't forget the big 9 cars now. But like, it's a mix, right? Our customers, just to be clear, on the dealer side, include Penske, right? Include Prime Automotive, include Sonic, include Carvana.
Big capacity.
Okay? We've got big guys.
Yeah.
Okay. We also have small mom and pop dealers, you know, and we've got everybody in between. We like to think of it as it's a big quilt. It's a big fabric of you know, of people stitched together, using and sharing and finding opportunity in our auction marketplace. And I think the exact same is true for transportation, for the ACV transportation side of our business. It's a highly fragmented industry. We've got cars going all over the place. This is not, we've tried with, I won't name names, but with the big guys, if you will, who said, we can move every car for you. We'll do it better. We've got assets, you know, trucks all over the country, rigs, blah, blah, blah. We're good to go. They can't do it. They simply can't. Just like CarMax or Carvana can't buy every single car on our site. It takes a village. It takes a marketplace, an ecosystem of everybody to make a fully mature marketplace work. And whether that's selling the cars or transporting the cars, we need the big guys. We can fill trucks, you know, run California to New York. I know we can. By the same token, we need people that'll move stuff locally across upstate New York, right? Or across mid-Ohio or across Florida. So there's no one size fits all. What really makes me proud, and you saw Matt getting, you know, excited about this or passionate about this, is we hear the stories, and whether it's our dealer customers that are able to grow their business because of the efficiencies that we provide and the access to inventory, or if it's the car hauler that when he started with us 18 months ago or 2 years ago, and he had 2 trucks, and now he's up to 9 trucks, that's a good story. I don't care who you are. That's a good story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is, man. I want to say this too, is that, listen, if you've been somewhere, you've been working, you've been hauling, you've been driving, you've been staring at load boards, you've been watching The Shining, freaking out. Listen, if you want a better way and you don't know, I want to show you. Here's what you do. You go to acvauctions.com/ATI, put in your company, first name, last name, phone number, email address, click Get Hauling. Once you get signed up, shortly thereafter, you are at the ACV Transportation Load Board. And this number does keep changing. And I love, Joe, that you were pointing out the reason it's only 69. Because I know, if I was a dispatcher, I'd do the same thing. 69? Oh, man. But that's because, how many did you guys dispatch today?
Probably close to 900.
Yep. 900. That means there's almost no more leftovers. That means tomorrow we got a whole nother batch of fresh fish. If you want good fish, you want fresh fish. You don't want all the guys flopping around and flipping all for days. You find that on the other guys' load boards. On ACV, you get the fresh fish because it pays good. You guys have the information. You know where the cars are. And you pay fast.
That's right.
That is awesome. That's powerful.
Right.
So if you just joined and you just heard that 2-minute speech, you're good to go. Go sign up. That's it. You're out of here.
Yeah.
acvauctions.com/ATI. Have a good night. Pack it up. Get back to work.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. I mean, that is in a nutshell the message of this show and why. I mean, and I want to say this too. You guys are working hard to grow that quilt, that network, that fabric. I mean, you're at trade shows. You've got staff. I mean, tell me more about that, because I've seen some pictures. I'm like, what all you're up to?
Yeah, I mean, ACV's gotten big fast. I remember when it was 5 of us in middle of 2014 when we kicked off, and it's middle of 2019, 5 years later, and we're over 900. Well, we're about to be 900 employees. We're in almost every single state, and the way ACV grows, it's kind of like a virus. We go and put a territory manager into a new territory that we've never been in before.
Okay.
Drop a person in, right? Parachute them in.
Yeah.
They go start talking to car dealers and explain how our marketplace works and why they should be a part of it. And then they start buying and selling cars. And the neat thing is, each market is its own mini marketplace, and then they all also benefit from the surrounding marketplaces and the nationwide marketplace. So we started in Buffalo, New York, of all places. And when we started, cars were only getting sold within Buffalo. Those were our buyers and sellers. But today, we still sell cars within Buffalo, but also there's cars every day that sell from Buffalo to Utah, and Buffalo to Colorado, and Buffalo to Florida, and Buffalo to California, and the other way too. Yeah, roll that footage again. But you can see us expanding out of Buffalo, and then if you watch some of these lines, a lot of times it's cars going, north from the Carolinas back up to Connecticut or wherever. It's just kind of overlapping insanity, but it's a good insanity.
Yeah, right. Like you were saying before, you got to focus on a point, and then you kind of let it. And then you see the routes and the building. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's a good visual, because otherwise it's kind of hard to understand how the whole thing has grown. But like I said, we started in the Northeast and we've been expanding out. So obviously that's why there's the density. There's more red over in the Northeast, but it's just because we've been there longer. Because all these markets, they grow, they scale. We were at one point we were doing nothing in Texas, and now we're selling thousands of cars out of Texas.
Oh man, you move a lot of cars in Texas.
Yep.
And you got Phoenix, El Paso. Oh man, then you've got several California markets. There's a lot, and then in the East Coast, I'd say
can't even see through it.
Yeah, I'd say yes. Do you have yes? Yes. The answer is going to be yes.
Well, the cool thing to me about it is it's like it's grown organically. It's natural. I mean, yeah, sure, you got to drop parachute somebody in, but and Joe, you know this. You've been around longer than I have probably, but this car dealer network is a really interesting network of people, right?
Yes.
I'll let you take
I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but yes, interesting. Absolutely.
Yeah, it can go both ways real quick, and that's where I think Jay and I talk about you guys all the time, and I've been watching you guys probably for 3 years. So for a guy like me who's always been an auction guy, always a transport guy, always and I see what you're doing, and it's definitely impressive. But I want to say thank you, like really thank you for being here, because it's like talking to Cox. I mean, you guys have this level of authority, and you have the ability to set the standard. And I've said this for a long time. Who's setting the standard here in this industry? Who's kind of controlling the carrier aspect of this? And for you guys to step in like you have, I mean, that's just huge. I mean, it really means a lot, not just to me, but all the other guys out there. It's cool.
Well, there's a need, right? There's a need. Well, I think we're just doing what's mutually good for all of us and all of our mutual customers. I mean, our customers are the car dealers, and your customers are the car dealers.
Right.
And we just got to take care of each other.
I guess, sorry to interrupt you, but here's and this is perfect. The Mannheims and the Odessas of the world don't give 2 cents about the carrier. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or mean, but the bureaucracy, the liabilities, whatever they have to deal with, I'm sure I don't know all the ins and outs of the auction business, but man, could you make it a little easier to walk 4 miles just to get in the gate? I mean, how about a shuttle service, Hello.
Yeah.
So anyway, I appreciate it. And I know a lot of guys that are hauling cars. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm glad it's working.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy. So it's good for everybody.
Yeah, and on that note, I want to say, I mean, I really appreciate that you guys recognized that ATI is a platform that made sense to deliver this message, to reach out to the audience. It means a lot to us, and it's part of, I mean, you are on this blazing path, as are we. And so to join forces, and I mean, it's awesome. It's really great.
Somebody's got to be the shepherd to represent these underrepresented or unrepresented small business owners that are out there working harder than anybody else. And we see it all the time with our car dealers. I mean, this is not a knock on anyone in particular, any big companies or anything, but car auctions really, for the longest time, I think, took the position that, hey, we have all the cars here, people just have to show up. And it doesn't matter if the rules are fair or not really fair, or if people go in and out of business because of deception and lies and policies that don't really protect the buyers and take good care of that reoccurring customer. And I think they felt the same way about the transporters. Hey, the cars are there, transporters are going to show up and move them. Who cares if it's easy for them to go and access these cars or find these cars?
Yeah.
And for us, what low-hanging fruit, what easy opportunity to just go take care of the people that rely on our platform. And if you take care of your customers and you add value, I think you're entitled to prosper. And it's been our experience. I wouldn't say we're buying the business. The business is coming to us because it's better all around.
Yeah. True.
No,
True.
And I agree. And what's really interesting is now there are new technologies that are going to help everybody involved. There's a lot of new technologies coming out that will finally help the carrier, which is, so many years have just gone by. Well, the carrier's fine, We'll just jack up all the other rates and the regulations and all that. But now we do see, well, it's interesting. Anybody who talks about this industry at length talks about how old things are, that there just hasn't been much improvement or progress. There's just, I love, you coined it, man, the land of stagnation. I mean, this is the land of stagnation, or it has been until recently. We
dispatched 900 cars today. We cleared out almost our entire queue. That's not stagnating, though.
It's so great. Right. I mean, it really is. It's really, really neat, and this is exciting to talk about, to share. I mean, we're doing this here. We're still live. Are we still alive, honey? Yeah, we're still live. We're live right here. There's still a lot of people here because this is really good information. The land of stagnation is starting to unthaw. What? Whoa. Oh my gosh. Man, it's getting kind of groovy in here. Really? Car haulers can groove too? Yeah, that's right. And I was taking a walk today and I'm listening to Spotify, and then on my Spotify, or no, it's Pandora, Spotify. I'm on Pandora and I hear an ad, and these ads, they're talking to me. And there are now I can consume the free music and the ads are coming to me. That's what is starting to happen for car haulers. Information is starting to find them. And this is what I'm getting at. I don't know if you've noticed this, but even on YouTube, and I tell people, I got a car hauling YouTube channel, and people are still like, well, why would you do that? All right, well, you know what? More and more, because now that YouTube and Google and everything knows who you are, and they know where you shop, and they know where you live, they're starting to really mega target ads on YouTube, and I'm seeing more and more car hauling related YouTube ads. what? Things are changing. We are really starting to unthaw. Who would have ever thought that car haulers needed new information? Don't tell Facebook groups. Holy mackerel. You get whacked with a hammer if you tell them there's new information.
Oh.
Try to be a new car hauler and ask a question in one of the Super Trucker Facebook groups. Good luck, dude. Right? And that's why we have Auto Transport Intel. And on the same token, that's why we have ACV Auctions. Because we're starting, oh my gosh, we're actually going to start to progress and get out of the Stone Age.
Yeah. Thank you,
I think
Joe.
I think it's important too to know that, you know, we're not a bunch of tech nerds. We have our big crew of tech nerds that build great technology for us, because we'd all be screwed if it were Matt and I trying to do code. We don't do that. But you know, Matt can tell you a little bit about his experience, but he knows trucks, he knows trailers, he knows loads, he understands this world. I was a car dealer. I was in those lanes. I was buying and selling cars. So like, there's a reason that what we've created is resonating. We're grassroots people. We're down to earth people. We're easy people to do business with. I owned a bunch of car haulers. I used to haul my own cars to and from auction. I stopped because every time I would keep getting into it and buy another 3-car wedge or bigger truck than that, it was such a pain in the ass to go unload and unload these cars and find them at the auctions. And I didn't have the time. And, you know, I'd be a hot, sweaty mess trying to do it. And so I got nothing but respect for the people that make their living doing it that way. And that's our culture. You know, I don't, again, not a knock on you know, Cox or Central Dispatch or anybody like that, but I don't know how close they are to it. We're pretty close to it.
and hey, listen, I it's true what you say is that car hauling is such hard work that to expect somebody to show up in like a suit or a shirt buttoned up and collars and forget about it. Yeah. But follow just some of the basics, and actually, by not having to march around an auction 5 miles per car is certainly going to help.
Yeah. I remember when guys used to move my cars from auction, they would have, this is probably normal, but they'd have runners. So they'd have to bring extra people with them.
We have to pay carpool.
Yeah, you have to pay other people just to drive in and out of the auction to make decent time. Crazy.
Wow. Crazy.
It is crazy. So thank you guys so much. I mean, I really appreciate the time here. I don't think we left anything out. I don't think there's anything left in the jug.
Go to, what is it, Jay? Go where?
All right,
sign up.
So you got to go to, I'm going to type in the chat, acvauctions.com/ATI. Just go there, sign up. It's easy. We want you to sign up. Joe, Matt, Ty want you to sign up. People in the live chat want you to sign up.
Sign up.
Just sign up. And as ACV Auctions continues to progress in the industry, wait to see what happens next. You want to get signed up now, so you're a part of that growing family.
That's right.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thanks, come join us. We get stronger together.
That's right. Come aboard.
Yep.
Awesome. Man, thank you guys so much for taking the time tonight. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
It means a lot. It was fun. This was live. I'm going to shut it down, but it'll be on demand, and we got more coming. Because we're going to bring you back. We have not had enough. You're coming back in October, okay?
Can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait. I'll be there.
All right. Can't wait to have you back.
Thanks, Matt.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Jay and Ty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Everyone.
Good night, everyone.
And I end the meeting. Bada bing, bada boom. And then let's do, where is that old video capture device? I got to switch that back. Easy peasy, you know what I'm saying? Wow. That was a lot of stuff. I know, I try to be thorough and get through all the information. There is a lot to cover. I mean, it's not just the fact that there's a load board, another great new resource for car haulers and their dispatchers, but also that the quality of the loads up there, the fact that They will pay you fast. You're not running around chasing somebody trying to get the latest story of where the check is, and that they're working on other technologies, just continuing to improve, and they're providing a real service for dealers, right? Because it's the dealers are the customer. That's the main customer today. Who knows where they'll go next? But those dealers, they need to get those cars moved. And what do you guys need? Cars now. So it's a match, right? It's not like some convoluted business proposal. Not at all. And we do live in a land of stagnation, and it's time for it to change. So I really appreciate you guys sticking around in the live chat. This was a pretty big show. And if you missed any part of it, I want you to go back and watch it on demand or share it. Hey, and please remember to give a like. Likes help me grow in YouTube and in Google. So like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, make sure that they know what's happening with ACV Auctions. Let's see, next week, by the way, I believe we've got Hank Seaton of Seaton and Husk. He's a transportation lawyer in DC. I mean, this guy is the real deal. I met him at the Auto Haulers of Association of America conference in May in Atlanta. And I'm telling you, and I've got his book. He wrote a book. I think you know what? I think I was reading the book. I was sitting out having a cigar, and I think I left the book on the table over there. But man, he wrote a book, and this is going to be an amazing interview next week. So I want you to tune in. We're going to show the book. We're going to talk about it. It is going to be a real honor to have Hank Seaton on the show. And also joining us in the live panel, we're supposed to have Richard Bryn of PFA, Transportation Insurance and Surety Services. That is going to be awesome. I love having Richard on the show, a definite friend of the show. Listen, you guys know if you need help, you've got questions, you want to get into car hauling. And by the way, we're not telling everybody just go ahead and sign up and get into car hauling. This is a hard business. But if you are bent on being a car hauler or growing your business, if you need help, you want some business coaching, you need to talk to Ty at CTS Business Coaching. You can go to ctsbusinesscoaching.com, and I'll get you in touch with Ty. You can send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I also was going to say, we did the ACV. We were talking about ACV all night. Jay, we got it. We got ACV. We got it. Sun Country Trailers. Thank you so much, Sun Country Trailers. High grade, industrial strength, custom built, car hauling trailers. Gopher auto carrier software. Thank you so much. Small, mid-size fleets, new and used cars. Customized software. You can talk to them. You talk to them, what do you need? This is what I need help with. I need automation. I need total control. I need driver reports. I need a good system, and I need somebody I can get on the phone. You definitely want to talk to Gopher. And of course, Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. Sue's not in the show right now, but she was in the live chat. You know why? Because she's got to get up early and dig through the land of stagnation to help her drivers. But she's in touch with ACV, and things are getting better. Thank you so much, ACV Auctions. Really appreciate what you're doing for the industry and being a part of Auto Transport Intel. One last thing I don't want to forget. Thank you, Truckify, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Truckify, Muzi at Truckify says, hey, Joe, Truckify car hauling ePod app has all the car haulers ready to haul all of your ACV vehicles with our automated load matching API technology directly from your ACV load board. If you haven't checked out Truckify mobile app, go check it out at truckify.com. I say this all the time. I talk to the ecosystem. Me and Ty now will go to the conference. You've seen us on social media. We were at Automotive Intelligence Summit a few weeks ago. Last week we were in Baltimore at the Finished Vehicle Logistics Import-Export 2019 conference. And in a month we're going to be at Automotive Logistics Global Detroit conference. learning more about the business of the other verticals in this ecosystem in the automotive industry, which is huge. In fact, it's truly global. Like, no joke, global, right? And we don't even talk about it. We're so focused on the US market, we don't even talk about the other markets. And we don't have to. But it is important to pay attention to news. That's why we talk to the other verticals, the dealers, the OEMs, the insurance market, trucks and trailers, the equipment market. That's huge. Of course it's huge. So we're going to keep week after week interviewing, have the experts on the show, bring in the live panels. If there's a topic that you think would make a good topic, something that I need to look into, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Otherwise, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank you. I'm going to roll the car hauler footage once again, wheel out some of this old stuff. We will update the intro, outro at some point. But for now, just enjoy it. Crank up the acoustic guitar, banjo, whatever that thing is, and listen to it and enjoy it. Listen, I really appreciate you tuning in. This is fun for me. I love doing this show, and I'm glad I can help the industry and be a part of this growing movement. It's awesome. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next Tuesday night. Y'all take care and be safe, okay?